Hello all, I wanted to give you a little update on how things are going. Let's zoom in so everyone can see. Game is progressing at a better pace and still have time to relax a little in between. And oh yes, okay, now for the main thing. So for a long time I wanted to release a playable build, the first ever playable build of Raindrop Chronicles episode 1. Spring was kind of the plan originally. It could still be that, but we still don't have a date on the house move, so I don't know, but it's a bit at a time. We'll be working on that until it's ready, and that's what we've been doing, polishing scenes, because once they're done, main quest 1 and 2 scenes, that's like some super good progress, and it'll kind of be in a good state then. Not quite ready for the release because I want to get some of the battle stuff done as well, but we won't be starting any of that until the scene stuff's out of the way for main quest 1 and 2. Hi Matt, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I've still got to get used to these new days for sure. Thought it was Monday. So because we're working on scenes a lot lately, that's awesome, because that means there's going to be new content to share and do screenshot Saturdays again. So make sure you're following on the Twitter, folks. I'm sure plenty of you are, if you want to see those sneak peeks. And yes, that will mean we'll have some updated stuff on the website, which is here. All these screenshots will get a snazzy update, and I might make a new trailer as well. I might, because I think it will need an update. We got the small sprites and old graphics on that old trailer, although it was pretty awesome. And then once all that's done, yeah, I'm ready to submit it finally to Steam. It's all virtually almost ready for submission. It's just adding the screenshot sections, and then it can go. So of course I'll be letting you all know when that is, but because of like what's on the cards, I figured we could do something today, something a bit different to the usual stream. What I'm planning to do is, when the Steam page is released and when the first playable build is released, that's 2 like big news announcements, isn't it, in the first part of the year. All going well, if the demo does come out the first part of the year, we'll see. So that's 2. So I'm gonna wanna get the word out about those things. So what I want to do is I want to make a mega list spreadsheet of contacts, like, you know, a press list, and then that'll allow me to be able to email all those people to let them know about the game, the Steam page launch, and also the demo as well when that comes out. So yeah, it can be time consuming to do, but it's worth it to do, because I don't want to neglect the marketing side either. I feel like I do neglect it, so that's something I want to make sure I do. And even if we like just get coverage from one of those, it could help spread some word of mouth too, so that's really cool. So we're going to do that today, and on Thursday's stream we're going to go back to the sound effects, and we're gonna do a poll to vote on Carol's voice, because I've got a few different variations of that. There's a few, so we're definitely going to do a poll. I was going to do that for today's stream, but I would rather do that when scene 1 is completely polished, because I'm going to take video clips and put them on our Discord with Carol's voice of the scene when we meet her, and I'd rather that scene be 100% polished, so that you can see it to its fullest. And it probably likely will be on Thursday. Need a little bit of extra time, so that's what we'll do then. And that'll be fun. The sound stuff is going quite well. Just an update, everyone. It's I found it. I've got a technique, and I'll be talking about it with you on Thursday's stream. And I'll be, of course, that'll be when you hear them, because we're gonna be doing a poll then. Okay, so fun times, everyone. This is a marketing stream, which I don't think we've had a marketing stream before, have we? Not really, everyone. So, I see we get some notifications. Thank you very much. I know that a lot of them are bots that do retweet, but it's still appreciated. So we do have a press kit on our website, and this is usually what any writers or journalists or bloggers, etc., would look at when they write about the game. Of course, that might get a bit of an update as well. Like, obviously we can have a few new screenshot updates and new trailer. Some of the text might get a slight change, maybe. But of course, we need more than just the press page. We actually need to full on know who we're going to be contacting, because you can't just rely on it floating in the void and someone happening to lay their eyes on it. Chances are it will never get noticed, so you kind of have to push yourself to get it out there. And I've done this before. I have a bit of experience doing this. I did it with a game I worked on in 2015 with somebody else, and got coverage on Kotaku and Rock Paper Shotgun were two of the bigger outlets. So I kind of have done it in the past, although it's been a few years, so it's needs a bit of a refresh. And I can't use that same spreadsheet because it's all old. It's very old now. So we're going to be doing a brand new one, specifically targeted for Raindrop Chronicles. So cross that off, because we don't need this bit right now. And those are the tasks that we're working on. Oh yeah, closed captions. Let's turn them on. I'm going to turn Twitter off as well. Okay, so let me just get a new window up. So, you know when we did the mega list for the gosh, I forgot already, the character beliefs and goals and desires and all that, we're going to kind of approach it a similar way to that. So that was Google Sheets, wasn't it, that I used for that? So let me get that up in a new window. Why am I in Google Docs and not Google Sheets? Okay, I've got it now. So, yeah, we're going to sort of copy this old mega list that we've got here for this, but I'll keep this in a separate tab for now. Hi, Celio or Celio. I'm always pronouncing everybody's name wrong, so I apologise if I have. But welcome to the stream. It's good to meet you. And it is an episodic RPG for sure. And that means that we're focusing on just the first segment for now, rather than the bigger scale. And the first episode in itself, which is called Roots and Rumours, is a game in itself, really. So the first job is getting that one launched. And we'll be having a first playable build in the first part of the year, all going well. First playable build demo. Steam page launch coming soon. Page is on the way as well. And that's two big, massive news. Like, it's the two biggest things for this game. since we started doing it, the Steam page and the demo. So it's very, very important at this point in time to get this pressed mega sheet list done so that it's all there and ready and the hard job's out the way. So I'm going to ask chat a couple of questions today, actually, because I think it'll be valuable. Hi Rod, how you doing? It's good to see you. Things happened, yeah? Oh no, what has happened exactly? I'm curious now. And Rod, how have you been? I'm doing good, Rod. What have you been up to? So once we get cracking and once I've started this spreadsheet a little bit, I'm going to be asking you, chat, a couple of questions that are related to, that might help me out a bit on this. So keep your ears peeled, should I say. I'm going to be stealing all your tricks, chat. But this, I don't know what this is. This is just a massive article on things you should do to contact the game trace. So we might read that in a bit. And I've also got this one, which could be handy. And I've got some lists of games, news outlets as well, so we could always add those to our list. So let's get a new Google Sheet up. Here we go. And we will, how should we arrange this? Name, email, no, yeah, website. We might need to do a couple, like we might need to do, because we could have one for like gaming websites and then another one for influencers and YouTubers, because that's two separate things really. Going for breakfast, but want to say hi, make sure you're out. Oh, what are you having for breakfast? The team disbanded, that's what happened. You also used to make an episodic JRPG and your team disbanded. Oh my goodness, that is unfortunate. I know the feels though. It's happened to me in the past with a project I worked on a few years ago, 2015, 2016 era. I mentioned it briefly earlier actually, because what we're doing today, for anyone just popping in, we're making a mega list of press contacts. So I am going to ask chat, I'm going to ask you where you find out about new games or game news, so that I can make a little list of ideas, because then when we launch the news about the demo and the Steam page, I'll be able to do some emails, send some emails out, and you never know, word of mouth and all that can help go a long way. It's worth doing because I've done this in the past with that game I worked on in 2015, which, like you, it was the same experience as you, Celio. Unfortunately, the other person I made the game with, things happen. That's why it's kind of nice to only rely on yourself and be a silo developer, because it can't go wrong then. It's only you got to count on. And I have a bit of experience putting the press release together. I've done it in the past and got lucky, I guess. People wrote about the game. I think it helped that the game concept was pretty cool and unique. And fingers crossed we can have a look this time. That's good to hear. Yeah. And any plans for the evening and tomorrow? It's pancake day today, Rod, so we'll be having Nutella and fruit covered pancakes. So I'm really excited for dinner today, that's for sure. This is made in RPG Maker. That explains the sprites. Well, you know, sprites can be used in any engine, right? That's how I see it. But it is made in RPG Maker. It's a very, very appropriate engine for what I'm trying to do and pull off. Very fitting for the style of what I'm trying to make, a retro old school 2D RPG. So yeah, catching extreme hopefully is that you stay safe and warm until then. Yes, indeed. And you too, Rod, I hope you have a good evening. Oatmeal and apple cider as usual, sounds good. Is anyone else having pancakes today, or is it just me? I'm wondering if anyone else in chat is celebrating Pancake Day. Okay. So I figured now could be the perfect time to start this, because the longer we leave it, the more it's going to loom upon us, and then the time will come when the Steam page gets launched and we'll have no list. And it'll be like, oh no. So although the Steam page, I was thinking March could be the ideal time to get the Steam page submitted, because then it's like the anniversary of when we started the project. So that's kind of nice. So, you know, it's only a few weeks away, and I'm pretty sure we'll have the content and screenshots and ready for that point. We'll have knocked out a few of the main quest 1 and 2 scenes by then, I'm sure. So it'll be nice to at least get some of this done, so we don't have no list at all. So how well shall we tile this one? Let's have a think. So video game website. Okay. We'll make the text bigger in a sec though. Mega list. We don't need to type in mega list, but it sounds cool, mega listers, so I was very tempted. I wanna know. Sounds cool. Hi Tetsu, how's it going? And Van, how are you guys doing today? It's awesome to see you both. What are your stream days now? Tuesday and Thursday, Tetsu. It's in the Discord. If you guys keep a close eye on the Important News Discord channel, because everything will go in there. I always try to be as clear as possible and update you folks on things. I think it's updated everywhere. If you look, I think the new schedule is on the website, on here, on the Twitch page. If you notice it anywhere, the old schedule, let me know, guys. But I think I've updated it everywhere. And still needing to get used to this new schedule. She streams on Tuesday. Yeah, Van's already said. Thank you, Van. I appreciate that. Right, thanks basically means internetless for a fortnight. Oh, well, you're still number 2. You're smashing it, Tetsu. People have got a long way to go before they catch you up. And yeah, people will, you know, it's very normal when there's a new schedule that it takes a bit of time to get used to it. So I'm expecting that, guys. I appreciate anyone who's stopping in. It shows that you appreciate the streams and the channel to be here, really, when the schedule's just suddenly being changed. So thanks for being so supportive and hanging out. And I have a long way to go till number 6. You'll get there, Van. I believe in you. My internet only came back about 2 a.m. last night. Yay, well, at least it's back. It must suck not having an internet. I know that sometimes when it's dropped for me for just a couple of hours, it's so frustrating. That's a while without internet, yeah, it is. Is anyone having pancakes today, or is it only something that British people celebrate? Because I'm having pancakes for dinner and I'm excited. But yes, everyone coming in chat. I'm just going to give you an update on what the plans are for this week's streams. Today we're going to be making let's make this even bigger again, or we could zoom in a little bit even, a mega list of like a massive long spreadsheet mega list of contacts, so that when we have our big 2 news announcements the start of this year, well, the first half of this year, which is 1, the Steam page launch, and 2, the first demo. I intend to spread the word. This is a marketing stream, everyone, so we're gonna be doing our research today, preparing this list so that there's contacts. You never know, we could get something, even if just one of our list of 100 do write something about the game. That'll be frigging awesome. And I've had a bit of experience doing something like this and having success from it in the past with an old game I worked on that was unfortunately the project was cancelled, but it was frigging cool to see it get written about. So, you know, hopefully that luck will happen again this time. But that's what we'll be doing today, just getting this started, because marketing's something I've completely neglected really, so we don't want to this time. We want to make sure, because it can go a long way. And on Thursday we'll be going back to the game dev, and we're going to do a poll where we can vote on the perfect sound for Carol's voice, because I have a few variations, and we're going to get set on which one we like for Carol. And although doing polls for every character's voice is probably something we won't do, not for every single character, because maybe they'll take bazillion years, because there's a lot of characters. You never know, we could do it. I tend to do polls whenever it's fun too, and whenever there's like a few, when I'm indecisive about something and there's a few variations and routes to go. But I figured it could be fun, and especially because it's the first sound, like the sound, once we decide of the sound for Carol's, it'll kind of set in stone the kind of sound effects we'll be going for, I guess. So, flattened. What makes it worse is my PS4 to be flattened, so I had to re-download all my games, but couldn't. Flattened? Yeah. What do you mean by flattened? All my game saves are gone. Oh my goodness, that's terrible, Tetsu. You've had some bad luck. I hope it gets better. What do you mean by flattened? Like full on, it got like squashed by something? I'm a noob, and I think Van's wondering as well, so I'm curious. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, okay, that's about right. Okay, so now it's the secondary things. Let's just give this a nicer font like we did for our old mega list. So chat, the question I've got for you today is, when it comes to gaming, indie games, any games that you want to, find out about, where do you tend to go to find out about games? That's my question to chat today, because anything that you say, I'll be making a list of, and it'll get added to our mega list. I think it's especially important for me to ask you guys that question, because you're the target audience, right? You're here in the stream because you like Raindrop Chronicles, so we want to target similar people. So website, let's get name, email, I think those are the 3 main things I can think of that we need to list. There's also things like, did they respond? And then yes or no, or a tick or a cross or something in that one. then maybe follow up email for that. So let's just make these a little bit bigger. Yeah, if we did that, it probably... Well, maybe we should do it the other way around so that that's the standout thing. Yeah, that probably looks a little better. Flatten means restoring to a factory reset. Oh my, oh really? Yeah, I thought you meant literally flattened. I was like, oh my goodness. I think most of indie games I own, I found out about through a YouTuber. Oh right, that's really cool. If you've got any, like, if anyone wants to leave any names of these YouTubers, that'd be awesome. Because that's important too. I mean, I've been having a read about this, and although it's important to contact like news outlets, gaming websites and that, YouTubers are also considered like a form of press in themselves, like, because they have like an influence and people watch YouTube videos all the time, and it's like sometimes people nowadays pay more attention to that than actual gaming websites. So I'm kind of thinking of doing like both, not just websites, but YouTubers as well. Okay, so I haven't read this article yet. Yeah, and this is especially important for indies because we don't have publishers or any marketing team to do this work for us, and there's always a risk if you don't try and put yourself out. It can be daunting to do something like this, but if you don't do it, you risk your game just floating into, you know, just obscurity. Yeah, start building a let's zoom in. So start building a contact list early. This is admittedly painfully slow and pretty boring, but necessary. Yeah, and it's an easy thing to do on stream as well. And it's better to start soon, especially because we've got 2 important news announcements looming on the horizon in the coming weeks and months. The list should contain the name and URL of an outlet, as well as an editorial, email or contacts for specific writers you'd like to approach already. Okay, so I've kind of done it that way, but instead of website, I'm going to say URL because, you know, for YouTubers, it's more like, you know, the channel URL rather than them having a website. How to find these websites in the first place? Try searching for coverage of recent indie titles as well as games that are similar to your own. That should give you hundreds of entries to get your list started. Yeah, so that's a good technique, like just typing in an indie game that someone in chat has recently played and look at what websites and stuff have written about them. If you know some developers who did all this before, they may be willing to part with their press list. These things tend to become outdated pretty fast. Yeah, so that's very true. I mean, like I said, earlier, I've done this before. I've already got my own spreadsheet, which is probably somewhere in my files and folders, but it was 2015, so it's like super out of date now, so we're starting fresh. If you've got your list of contacts from other developers, make sure up to date. At the very least, check if the URLs are still working. Check if people are still working for outlet pitching your game to someone who hasn't worked for that particular website in 5 years. It's not the best first impression you can make. Okay, so this bit here is more about writing the thing, which we're not going to think about just yet. That'll come a bit later. It's about actually making a mega list today. Okay, so cross that off now. Now, what's this one? YouTube and Twitch peeps. Yeah, that's another thing altogether, but that should probably be a spreadsheet or part of the spreadsheet too. This is super detailed because it like involves things like keys and things like that you can send to them. So I'm going to bookmark that one and cross that off, read that properly another time. Okay. So I've got a big list already right here. And we can have a little peek at what these websites are and start making our list. I'll move this here. Alrighty. Let's get started then. So I have these two really long lists of things. I've also found some other ones that people on Reddit shared. I don't know if they're out of date, so obviously we'll have to make sure that if they're out of date or not, because we can't just add things without knowing that, so we'll do that as well. But today, I mean, I like to get a pretty big list done because I don't want to like spend loads of streams doing this. This is just something we're going to do today, just because it's something a bit different and we haven't done before. Once, like, so hopefully we get a bit done, but most of the bulk of this I'll probably do off stream and do it in bits until we launch the thing. Okay. This website looks kind of messy. I don't like how it randomly does pop-ups because I don't like that. Okay, what's this? I don't know. There's some of these sites I've not even heard of myself. Some of them I have, but not all. Yeah, these ones went years ago. Some of these might have gone as well. Don't know how old these spreadsheets are. Wow, this one's a pretty big list. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with something like phone number because I don't call people, but email, yeah. Contact topic, yeah, well, it's always just video games, so that we don't need that. Media type. I could have that one. So, insert column. So what would go in there be like website, blog, YouTube channel, or anything like that, just so we know. Yeah, no, I could do it alphabetically, but yeah, it'd probably be smarter to do it alphabetically. Alright. So we'll look at these. And it's true, it's a slow and boring task, but it's something that needs to be done. So we'll look at each, see if these sites exist still. We spent more than a decade writing about 2D games. Right, so these, great. This is the ideal contact for us because we kind of do want to make sure that we contact people that are that would more likely. So 2D games, and it looks like they're still active, so have a peek. One trick I thought about doing was, because a lot of people on their Twitter profiles have a sort of business email, don't they? So that's an ideal way to do it, but not everybody does, so you gotta find it another way if there's no. But there's an email thing here, so this opens my mail in another app, so you guys can't see it. So, are you gonna load? Luckily my computer's a bit better than it was, because I remember when we crashed last stream. It's kind of calmed down a bit now. Copy. Okay, so I've got that email. So I don't know what's best to name them as. 2D radar probably is probably the best one, even though it's 8-bit horse, because they've got 2 names. I can do both. Okay. So we only need to fill in the first 4 fields for now. We obviously don't need to do those ones because we haven't sent them out yet. So this one is a game articles website. So with that one, and the name is okay, first out of bazillion done. As you can see, this can get monotonous, so I'm hoping you guys can entertain me while I'm doing it. Okay, so cross that one off now. But this is, it's really easy to do, even though it's monotonous, it's super like easy, so it doesn't require much brain work. Which, you know me, I prefer doing those things on stream, the easy things. So these are all indie game sites, these particular ones are, from a website called videogamejournalizer.com. So I don't think any of the big outlets are here. These are mostly in indie coverage, which is always very worth it. Because there's probably more chance that, you know, a smaller indie game website would cover you than a big massive one. So the first thing I like to check is whether the website is still active, and if it's not, they're off the list. But if they've posted articles like recently, then yes. And this one has Feb 2021. So alphabetagamer.com. I should have really put the URL in there rather than the name, so I'm going to do that now. But it's getting the email address that's the tricky bit. This one's got a hell of a lot of subs. So it's not, where it says it's indie. whether we're going to get an email or not, that's the question. I mean, the other thing is contact them directly through their YouTube channel. That's always an option too. But ideally, I think I'd rather have the email. And there's no in the Twitter, so nope. Facebook, I don't want to go on Facebook, but well, I might have to. As you know, I don't like Facebook. About. No email. So there's a contact section here. I want to make it bigger though, so I can actually see what it says. But this is a read-only document, so I don't think I can. Yeah, there's no emails on this list, it's just the websites. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just leave a gap for the ones that we don't have the email of and hope that I can come across it later. A bit of extra research. We don't know the name either. There's a few names here. This seems like an indie game. We should probably message the ones that are more likely to cover indie titles. I put a question mark for the ones that we don't have an email for. Okay, next one. Yeah, I just realised. Gotta make sure that the PC ones as well, which all of these are. So that is fine. Okay, so this one isn't live anymore. Okay, don't want to listen anymore either. This one looks like it's not English. It's a Spanish website. I kind of would feel rude contacting an international website and speaking English. So we won't have those ones on the list. This seems more like a platform for games than an actual news outlet. Do Game Jolt cover games? Do they write about games? Because it don't look like it here. Because I'm not going to just add them to the list if they're not even ideal. Hi, Mr. Radio, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're good. It's good to see you popping in on a day that, because this is the first Tuesday I've streamed in like ages. I'm still getting used to the new schedule myself. It's certainly gonna I kind of expected it to mess around the community a bit, like a lot of people to not realise I'm streaming, so it's awesome to see you. And in all honesty though, I couldn't keep up with the 3-day-a-week schedule. The longevity, it would have drained me in the long run. When you're a game dev, you need that time. Need to get that energy, and streaming can be so draining. Okay. Okay, so we'll leave Game Jolt just because they don't look like the right news anymore. Maybe they changed. How have you been though, Radio? I hope you've been okay. Again, this isn't an English website. Okay, maybe this is one that is fine. Look, 2021. So this one's fine to add to our list. So we'll add it. Indie Games Plus. Video game website. Now for the email and names. So I have a game to share with us. Email at editors@indiegamesplus.com. So there we go. We've got the email. Oh, so we got separate emails for people as well. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine that we've got the main email. And if we don't have an actual name for them, then we'll just call them by their website name when we send the email. Next one. No, see what I mean? Like, it is very true in the site that these press lists need to be like mega updated all the time, because some of them just no longer exist anymore. As long as, like, you know, February 2021 is there on the website, you know it's recent and it's fine. Okay, so this is clearly cool and great to use, so we'll add them as well. Indie Haven. But yeah, chat, Again, I'll remind you, if you've got any good websites yourself where you find out about new games or YouTubers, then just let me know and I'll add it to the list, because you guys know what, if you like Raindrop Chronicles, I'm interested to know how you find out about games. For me, I just don't play games much these days, so I don't go on anything. But I tend to look up on Steam on the main page, or word of mouth if anything's in my Twitter news feed that people are talking about. We're always looking for new stories to talk about, games to play. If you're a developer who wants to show your game or a member of the public has an interest or send us an email at tips@ndhaven with a relevant subject line. Cool. So I've got an email. There's a few names here, and we're not contacting an individual specifically, so just put their email in. I feel like I want to swap these two over. Can I? How do I do that in Google Sheets? Shift a column switch. Surely that's should be easy. Or I could do this, cut, delete, and then there. I think I prefer to have the emails before the names. I think that's a little bit more important. Thank you so much, Ink Flame Writer, for that raid. I super appreciate that. How are you doing today? How was your stream? Let's give a shout out. You were playing for the words. Tell us how that went and what the game is like. That was nice. Words on Fire, thank you for the raid. Hi Blazing, hi Ink. It was good, glad to hear it. We're having a chill stream where I'm making a mega list of names, websites, etc. in the gaming industry, so that I'm well prepared for emailing people about the news about the game that's going to be coming. We've got 2 big news announcements in the coming weeks. First one's going to be the Steam page launch. It's just a coming soon page for the time being, because the launch is still far away. And the second one is the first playable demo news. So that's 2 very really important news announcements. So this is the boring bit now, making the list. But if you want, your game to get heard of, it can be a smart thing to do. You're making a video game. I am indeed, Blazing. If anyone wants to check out the website, if you want to see a little bit more about it, feel free to. Everything's on there, though the screenshots and the trailer that's on there will be getting a bit of an update in the next few weeks. Getting a little bit of a rehaul, because we've had a few graphic changes and updates since then, just a few small ones. Changes to the sprites in particular. So we want to have it all new and as it is, because we're in alpha, in very early alpha, so there's always still a lot of alterations that can happen. So yeah, so keep an eye out if you want to. it's all very exciting for me to see the progress. That's for sure. The lady writes, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out here, guys. I assume you guys are writers because I see writes in a lot of your names. If so, that's awesome, because Raindrop Chronicles is a story-driven game. It's more about, I care more about the storytelling rather than the flashy features. It's a bit more me. So when it comes to this game dev project, we have a big focus on the story side of things and the characters and world building. I want to have more world building streams in the future as well. So yeah. Lovely accent, by the way. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Appreciate the kind words. It's a very strong English accent that I have, which is no secret. It's hard to hide. But I hope you're having a lovely week, chat, because I've recently changed my schedule up a bit. I'm streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays now instead of Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So it's a little bit of an adjustment, and but I already feel better about the change because it's a day less. With streaming, I used to have the attitude, stream as much as possible to get exposure for my project and grow your audience and that, but I kind of feel that it's not really about Twitch growth for me that's important. It's more about this, what we're doing here. It's about actually getting the word out of the game by word of mouth. And that snowball effect, I kind of see it as, rather than relying on solely on Twitch as a platform to grow, because Twitch is a very different place to how it was even 3 or 4 years ago. It's a lot harder to get visibility now, but I use Twitch as a way to talk to my community and bond with my community, and share ideas about the game and chat about the characters and build them together and decide the direction of the game in regards to things. We've had some super cool story ideas and character ideas from the streams that would never have ever existed if it wasn't for these Twitch streams, so I'm extremely grateful for them, and they'll be a part of this development because of that. Burnout's a real thing, yeah, and this is a very long-term project. It's an RPG at the end of the day, and it's an episodic one as well. It's definitely a lifelong thing potentially, I mean, I could see it being like the 2020s project for me that's going to take up the portion of this decade. And I don't get too daunted by that because it's like fun to me to make games. It's a hobby, never a chore. It's always something I'd want to do. Without doing this, my life's a bit dull, to be honest. So I love it. But at the same time, one person can only have so much energy. So it's very sensible to prioritise your time with the things that are going to matter the most. That's for sure. So I think this new schedule could work out quite well. It will for me personally anyway, and my productivity. It will really help massively in my energy. Whether it'll help the community, I don't know. Streaming 1 day less a week might not really, we're not gonna probably grow or anything to that extent, but as I says, I don't particularly think it's smart to rely on Twitch for growth in this day and age. And been really busy, but everyone is good. LOL, seen that you did the change of schedule. Glad to see it's helping with the development. What are you into today? Made a lot of progress. Sorry for not stopping by more often. Hope you're doing good. No worries, Radu. It's lovely. Honestly, it's wonderful to see you stop in today. especially when we've only just very recently changed the schedule up, because I expect a lot of people to just, you know, think, oh, she's not streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays anymore, and completely forget that I'm even streaming today, or not even realise. So it's awesome to see it's not a bye. I've got a new game developer I'm going to suggest your stream to. Well, he's an aspiring one. Oh, that's very kind of you to do. I appreciate that. But let me know who your friend is as well. It's always good to meet new people who have similar passions. That's for sure. Okay, so we've only got 4 games on that. We've only got 4 game websites on our list so far. I hope to get absolutely dozens, you know, in all honesty. But not just video game websites on the list, but blogs and influencers as well. So if anybody knows, like anybody here who plays indie games or video games in general, if there's a particular website you go to, or a place online you go to, or a YouTuber, feel free to name them in chat, because you know, the more on this list, the better. I'm gonna not stop when it comes to spreading the word of the game when the time comes, because, you know, so far it's been very experimental and very early days, and so I haven't like gone all out yet in terms of contacting people, because the game really isn't at a standard yet. There isn't even a demo out. But now that we're going to be getting now I'm working on the scenes a little bit more and sprucing things up a bit. You know, there's going to be more videos to watch, more content, more cool images, and even, you know, when the demo comes out, the first demo, it's going to be well worth people paying attention to then. Small YouTubes, okay, yeah, totally. I have the attitude that it's probably better to contact smaller outlets and influencers, because if you're gonna just rely on the big guys, you know, they probably get like bogged down with emails all the time, so there's less chance they're going to pay attention to yours. I mean, I'll still try my luck with some that are relevant to Raindrop Chronicles if I feel they'd like Raindrop Chronicles, but it can be more effective to contact ones that are a little bit smaller, perhaps. I'd be happy to talk about your game on my stream. Oh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, the Raindrop Chronicles website's a good place to be if you want updates, but probably the YouTube is a good place to be, because I upload every single stream on there, and the Twitter as well. I'm trying to post more on social media, even though it's hard for me because I'm not really a social media fan. And it's not in my nature to be on social media, but unfortunately when you're making a project and you want to get word out, you sort of have to be. But I'm one of these people that don't post about my personal life or any like details about my day on there, because I'm like a little bit introverted and stuff like that, and it makes me feel weird to do that. I've always been like that. Leo plays 72 on YouTube plays silent gameplays. Awesome. I'll copy and paste anything you guys, any names or links that you send me in chat, and put them in a notepad file, folks. And I'm also I'll put the lady rights in brackets, because if I ever do get in touch with that person, then I can say it's a recommendation from you. So yeah, and you can schedule posts on social media, which is easier. Then you're only on the media when you have to be. Yeah, I try to limit it as much as possible. I only tend to look once a day or once every 2 days, because it can easily take over your life, social media. Hi Ragnarok, how are you doing? I finished my beta. People are testing it now. Oh my goodness. Well, if you want to post in our Discord or send a link in the stream or both, feel free to, Ragnarok, because I'm all for, you know, giving a bit of attention and love to fellow indies and fellow creatives. So feel free to share it with chat. If you want to, of course, you're not forced, Steve, because some people can be shy, which is fine. Hi, Kay, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. How are things, Kay? How's your crafts going? I love your the sewing you've been doing. I did like some cross stitching once before for a birthday present for someone years ago. And it took like months for me to do it because I haven't got a natural knack for it, so I'm always impressed when someone does. I'll DM you personally. It's a Google Drive link. Oh, okay. Well, my DMs are actually closed, but you can send it in an email to me, Ragnarok, my business email, which is, let me put that in chat. You can send it to me there, because I used to have my DMs open, but I closed them a few months ago because people were sort of taking advantage of my boundaries and things, and it got a bit out of hand. People started getting manipulative and controlling, and I was like, screw this, I've got no time for this. I'm a busy bee. I don't need this. So I closed my DMs, and life is better. I recommend it if you're a content creator, because things can easily get out of hand. And I only have like very few people now that on my friends list on my DMs, like a tiny amount. Yeah, I'll check that out after then, Ragnarok. Hope you're okay. Just starting a new cross stitch project. It's huge, is it? Oh my god. What are we allowed to know what it is, Kay, or is it a secret for now? Okay, so next website. We're making a mega list, guys, and as you can see, we're not getting very far at the moment. 4 websites is definitely not enough. So chat, anyone coming in, if there is a news outlet, a video game website, a blog, a YouTube channel, or anywhere you tend to go to find out about new games, feel free to share it in chat with us today, and it will probably be added to the list. And these will be who we'll be contacting when we have our 2 news announcements, which will probably be the Steam page around March time, and the first playable demo may be very, very late spring or very early summer. So around May time maybe for that. All going well. It all depends. I can't be 100% sure on dates because I have a house move coming up, so that could shake things up a bit, but that's kind of my estimate right now. And I will be emailing out to the list for those announcements, because they're very we'll have a new trailer and new screenshots with the Steam page coming soon launch, so that'll be kind of worthwhile, I think, to do for that too, and obviously for the first demo. So 4 isn't enough. We gotta get more on our list. So we got up to Indie Haven. I've got a few spreadsheets from other folks that were on Reddit. This is where I found these. The problem is a lot of them are out of date because they're months, years long, and with something like this you need to regularly update it, because it's no good emailing emails that don't exist anymore or websites that don't exist anymore. And a lot of these websites are also not English, and I'm tending to skip those because I feel a little bit rude emailing them in English. But in the past when I've done this, because I worked on a game in 2015 and got press coverage, sometimes like international websites did cover the game, they just translated it. So that's cool if they do that, that's really awesome. But I don't actually like to email them myself, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Maybe it's better to email them and just anyway, but I don't know. It just feels a bit weird to me to do that, and a little bit disrespectful. And the thing is, Raindrop Chronicles is only going to be in the English language because we don't have a budget to get it translated right now. But it would be something that I'd definitely love to do if I did have enough funding, that's for sure. Indie Nerds. It's a poster of my favourite movie, Leon the Professional. Oh, that's awesome. Is that the one with Natalie Portman in it? I can't remember. If it is, I think. I haven't actually seen the film myself, but I've heard of it if it is that one. Remember when we watched your other favourite movie on a Discord movie night, okay? The Fifth Element. That was fun. Hi Timmy, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Rose, I emailed you the trailer and the beta link. Awesome, Ragnarok. I'll definitely have a peek at that later. If you ever do want to share it on the Discord, you're more than welcome to, but I get it as well if it's only for a few peeps. Down the Road Works, when are you going to release the game? The game itself is, I'm seeing it more as we'll release alpha playable builds seasonally until it's at a state to release it, and whether those alpha builds will be all the available alpha builds will be available to the public, I'm not sure yet. But we'll be working on the main quest playable builds first. That's kind of this year's goal, to get the main quest done. So the first playable build will just have main quest 1 and 2 in it. Then the next playable build will have the next main quest in, and the 6 main quests. So once all 6 main quests are out, then it's going to be about filling it all out with the features and just making the game feel a bit more full. So it's just getting that foundation in first. And I feel like it'll be better to approach it like that rather than think about adding all the features too early on, because it could get a bit overwhelming that way. So setting the foundation of the main story is the first goal. The main story of episode 1, that is, because then we'll have another episode after, but we don't think about episode 2 or the other episodes too much at this stage because the scope's too large. So we just think of episode 1 as a game in itself first and get that out of the way and focus fully on that. So yes, it's hard to put an actual date on it yet, but it's definitely approximately like a couple of years at least before you're gonna even seeing the official full release of the game of Roots and Rumours. But of course, I'm hoping that we can get playable builds out consistently, seasonally, and that feels like progress in itself. It would make me a bit nervous if it was close to release now, though, because I feel like we're very young still, and I'd want that Steam wishlist to build up a little bit first. That's really the reason I'm going to be launching the Steam page so early. Because it gives time for you to get the wish list built up, which is very important for indies, I think, because it's not like you got an audience, like a massive audience that overnight will flock to your game. So you got to rely on that growth over time. It is Baby Pullman. Yeah, she's one of my lady crushes. Indie Nerds, is this website still? No, it doesn't look like it is. 2017 was the last time this one got updated, so we won't be emailing that one. Indie Retro News. This one's recent. 2021 articles are here. This looks like very retro games though. So I'm not 100% sure if this is our target market. And I don't even know if the cover piece say, it looks like things like Atari and old consoles. really what this website write about. Oh, there is PC. Let's have a look. Super Space has a seriously cool modern thrust for PC and consoles coming to it early. Okay, so they do cover PC stuff that are new games, but they've all got a very retro feel about them. I feel like Raindrop Chronicles could fall under being a nostalgic game because it's very heavily inspired by old RPGs like Chrono Trigger and old Final Fantasies. So we can add this one to our list. I think we're fine to do that. Email. No, sometimes, you know, they have their business contacts in their Twitters, but not all do, unfortunately. So if they don't have it on their Twitter, I tend to look for an about section on the website, because then they sometimes have it there. It looks like they have Twitches, and you know, there's always other ways to contact people other than email. But because I can't see an email for now, I'll probably just put a question mark there to show. Oops, what is that? Keyboard shortcut. Show that we haven't found it yet, and we'll look for it after. Indie RPGs, okay, this looks like the thing for Raindrop Chronicles, but it looks like this website doesn't even exist. Oh, it does exist, but it hasn't been posted on since 2019, so unfortunately it's not really active anymore, sadly. Well, this was 2019, so I'm looking for 2021 websites obviously for this, because it'd be out of date otherwise. Matt said, I was at the roadmap before. I was getting the impression that each episode was getting fully made as a sort of standalone game that lets you export your save to the next, but doing the while main quests as a skeleton before the other features works too. Yeah, that is exactly how it is, Matt. Every game is its own standalone game in the Raindrop Chronicles series, though it follows on. So however episode 1 ends, we'll continue with episode 2, and the save file will carry over. So it is like your traditional episodic series, really. Doing the main quest as a skeleton before the other features works too, yeah. Simply because it's overwhelming. If I'm thinking about adding night and day cycles and crafting systems or hunt systems or all these fancy things that really flesh out the game, now it's going to just distract from getting the story content done. That's kind of how I see it. And one thing I learnt from when I first begun this project in 2019 was that I made mistakes by trying to switch things up too often. One day I'd do the battle system, one day I'd do story stuff, another day I'd do dialogue, then I'd do menu stuff, then I'd add a feature, then I'd go back to the battles, and it was just all over the place. And it was distracting, and everything was just a chaotic mess and jumble, and it was very disorganised. So I'm trying to approach things in a slightly more organised way, which is why we're fully focusing on scenes for the time being. We haven't even talked about the battle system for months. on purpose, so we can get some focus fully on the story stuff first. But you're right, Matt, that is how it is. So if I said something that went against that seemed like that wasn't the case with it being a standalone game that does that, I don't know, did I say something made it seem that way? Maybe I did. In IndieDB, I thought IndieDB was more of a self-news website. I think it is. We'll cross that one off. This one is a non-English one as well. Howdy Rose, good to see you. Hiya Oracle, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good week. Right, itch.io is a game platform with games. It's not a news website, so I'm not sure why that's there. As far as I'm aware, itch.io isn't a news website anyway. Okay, so this one looks active. Only the best browser mobile indie and casual games get reviewed, discussed and recommended here. Yeah, this one seems like it could get added to the list. They cover indies, PCs, and it is active, so let's add that one to our list. Paste those. Email. Yeah, did they have a... I don't know, where's their Twitter gone? Oh, there it is. No, is that Facebook? No, it's Twitter. Good, because I don't want to click on Facebook. No, they don't have an email, so... And hopefully their email's somewhere on the website. Some news outlets make it very easy for you to contact them. There we go, we got a contact there at the bottom. Cool. Have been a bit busy writing a novel and relaxing on my holiday. Hope you're well. Yeah, oh, writing another sounds fun. Are we allowed to know about it, or is it secret? And Skirty Nate, hey Rose, what are you looking for? Hi Nate, and hi. Well, what we're doing, Timmy asks about marketing as well, so you both kind of ask the same question, so let's give chat an update on what we're doing today. What I'm doing is making a mega list of video game websites and journalists, bloggers and influencers. It's going to be a massive mega list of hundreds of places I can contact when we've got some newsworthy news about the game. And because we're getting really close to having some really cool news announcements in the coming weeks and months, first one's our Steam page coming soon launch with a new trailer, and then the second one will be the first playable demo news, because we'll have a first build 0.1 playable build that will be coming out shortly after the Steam page, a couple of months after perhaps. So both of those newses I think is worthy to contact people about, and I want to make sure that, you know, as many people as possible can know about the game. I mean, even if I intend to write a long list, but even if only one of these out of 100 write about it, that's like super good in my opinion, because word of mouth can go a long way over time, and it's better to start sooner rather than later. And anytime there's anything that's worthy news, I'll go through and contact the folks again. So we're going through a bunch of websites today and looking for contact details so we can build up our spreadsheet, our mega list. And this is the first marketing stream we've ever done. It's not something I've really done much on stream before, but it's something although it's not like a focus of the streams very often, I think it's important to not neglect it either, because especially as an indie, otherwise your game just disappears into obscurity. And I know that you guys would probably play Raindrop Chronicles. I'm a core Twitch community, which is awesome, but you know, I'm a little bit more ambitious than just that, so we got to try our best, haven't we, folks? And let's catch up. So at what stage should we start contacting websites, do you think? I think as soon as you've got something newsworthy to say about your game, so whether that's like a demo launch, a new trailer, or you know, something big, like we've got a Steam page, want to wishlist at a game, or, you know, you got to be careful how you write these emails because you don't want to come across as entitled, or you know, so that's another thing altogether when it comes to writing the press email. But the first job is actually getting the list of relevant contacts. So yes, we'll think about actually the email part another time, but this is step one. It's high fantasy, female protagonist, a positive change story arc. World has been thrown into chaos after strange and massive geological event, sword and sorcery, mystery and a little romance. That sounds perfect. Female protagonist, I like it. But yes, if you ever want to post your stuff in our creative work channel, Oracle, feel free to. That goes for anyone else who's a creative person here, because we do have a creative Discord if anyone wants to share, of course. Marketing is hard for me. Yeah, it doesn't really come naturally to me either, because I think you gotta be, I'm not a salesperson, like far from it. I don't see myself having that sort of persona, so it definitely doesn't come naturally to me. But the sad fact is you kind of have to force yourself to be like that if you want to get word out about something you've created. And it can be be very difficult, like, because most creatives are introverted and very, you know, more personal. Like, I'm definitely one of those people, so yeah, but you gotta do it, otherwise people will be unknown forever, right? So you gotta push yourself. Gotta get over the hurdle of being you know, like, oh no, will they hate me if I send them this email? You kind of got to get over those thoughts, haven't you? That's how I see it. I've got a bit of experience doing this. I did in 2015, which was a long time ago now. So I can't use the same press list, unfortunately, because it's very outdated. But I did it for a game project I was working on back then that unfortunately had to get cancelled because the team disbanded, which always is a bit sucky. And that's why I love being a solo dev now, because you only have to rely on yourself, right? You can't control other people and how things go, but you can control yourself. So because, you know, I've done this before and it worked, I made a list of about 100 contacts, and I did get coverage from Kotaku and Rock Paper Shotgun were the two websites that covered. So it's a very smart thing to do for anyone who's low budget, I feel, because this is free advertising, and by emailing people, you're not being cheeky. You are actually helping them because it's making their job a bit easier for them. You're giving them an opportunity to write about something without them having to seek it out themselves. Because that, if you're a journalist, that could be frustrating, like trying to look for stuff to write about. So if you've got something that's already been sent to you by someone, it's already there right in front of your face. The job is just making it worthwhile enough for them to write about. That's the hard bit, making what you've got worthwhile enough to be talked about and written about. But you got confidence in your project, that's fine. You'll be fine. World building has been most heavy lifting, but I have finished a world map now. Oh, the world map bit's really fun. For Raindrop Chronicles, we spent a couple of streams just before Christmas making a very rough world map. It's a very messy one. It's literally just a bunch of biome pictures of like different biome environments stuck and attached together. But I wanted to do the bigger picture for a bit and imagine the Raindrop Chronicles world as a whole, and that really helped because it helped set a very rough and vague episode roadmap of the different places we'd go in each episode. So doing maps is fun, and I'm looking forward to actually having a more fancy world map done in the future, in the far future. I don't have any experience doing marketing. The only experience I do have is that time I made a press list a few years ago and contacted people, and really that is just not really having experience, it's just finally just having the courage to do it. More like what I'm doing now is the same as what I did then. It's as simple as just making a spreadsheet of contacts and then sending those contacts an email and crossing your fingers and hoping that people will, that there might be a bit of coverage for your game. So it's not, you don't have to be like a marketing genius or anything. It's just about putting yourself out there. Dad, thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Hi, work literally never lets me catch your streams, but I'm still here to support how I can. I super appreciate that. That's absolutely amazing that you've been subbed for 41 months and a 41-month streak. Dav, you're like, I think you and Rex and Chub Cheeks, I think, after that, and maybe there's a couple of you as well, are the longest sub people here in the community. So that's amazing. I think it deserves a ton of hype. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you that you want to support despite work being silly. And again, new schedule here. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday now, everybody. So there's a bit of a shake up, and a few folks are still getting used to the schedule and not realising I'm streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I've never really streamed Tuesdays and Thursdays before doing this game. I did stream on those days once a very long time ago. So it's just getting used to it, the fact that so it's only a 2-day-a-week schedule now, but that really is a good balance for me, because I've always struggled being a bit of a multitasker on stream. I can't work on stream, I can't do game development on stream. Raindrop Chronicles streams have mostly consisted of just discussions, chats, sharing ideas, and doing more easy stuff that doesn't require too much thinking, because to do the actual game dev I need true focus. So having that extra non-stream day a week is going to really help me be a bit more productive and give me a bit more breathing room, because streaming can be very, very mentally and physically draining. So it's going to be really, really helpful. I already feel the benefit of it, and I feel like it's going to help me mentally and the longevity of the project, having a 2-day-a-week schedule rather than a 3-day-a-week one. I'm a little bit skeptical. I don't think it's going to help me grow on Twitch though. I don't think I'm going to have community growth like I did before. Now I stream a bit less regularly, but I'm not counting on that. I've kind of had the mindset that I don't really expect to grow on Twitch anymore. I would rather focus on getting word out of my game in other ways rather than rely on it being something that people on Twitch find out about. I don't think visibility on Twitch is good enough for that. So this is another reason why I'm doing this, so I can you know, not put all my eggs in one basket with Twitch. I want to like think about other ways to market the game and get visibility. So this is what this is about, even though the list is super short right now because I've spent so much time rambling on today that I'm not even getting this list done. But today's aim was just making a start on it, because we don't want the dates to appear when we have the Steam launch and the demo launch, and then to not have anybody to email. So I'm going to just slowly add to this list over time, and it's not something we're going to do on streams. Like, you know, this is probably the only stream we'll have doing this, really. But I wanted to like make a start on it today. I felt like it was a good time. Heck yeah, thank you for the hype, Oracle. And Try, how are you doing? Have you considered RPS, or are you looking at exclusive indie focused titles? I will be contacting Rock Paper Shotgun, because they are one of the websites that covered my game in 2015 that unfortunately got disbanded. They are really a really good website, I think, and well, I would say, because I'm biased, because they covered my game before, as well as Kotaku. That'll be another one I add. I will be adding bigger ones like that to the list, because I think you should try your luck, right? Even though I'm not going to like expect it from the bigger ones, I think it's important to at least try, and it worked in the past, so, you know, I'd do it now as well with Raindrop Chronicles. And I mean, RPS, Rock Paper Shotgun, my game that I did before with one other person was an indie game for sure, and they covered it. So they don't necessarily just cover the big titles unless things have changed over the years with them. I'm not actually as aware now what they cover and if their content has changed, but back in the day, in 2015 era, they did cover some indies, and I would expect there to be a fair few mid-sized YouTube channels who cover indie games too, which might be worth considering. Like, I can't recommend any personally, but I know they're out there. RPS is just consistently good. Is that the one you look at, Try a Kiss, then? If you've got any others, feel free to list any good news outlets you really recommend Try, or anybody else in chat. The ones we've got right now are just indie ones. I'm kind of looking at an indie list here, but I do intend to add some of the larger outlets as well. So, and the same goes to YouTubers like Let's Players and things like that. That's kind of what influences is. So anyone who is a content creator, YouTube, Twitch would fall under the influencer one. So that's what media type will be. I'm just doing video game websites right now, but I'll have a section where it's YouTubers and content creators. And I've already had a recommendation from the lady, right? She's given me a YouTube channel. So if there's anyone in particular, like especially any YouTubers that do indie games or RPG games or games that are the style of Raindrop Chronicles, those will be even more valuable because they would have an actual interest in those kind of games. And when I was a kid, I used to go on Destructoid, but I don't know if they're still influential or would cover indie games. Does IGN cover indie games? I'm going to have a look, because what I tend to do before I add them to our list, I don't just add them to the list. I like to actually look on the website and see if it's still relevant and if they do cover PC games at least. If they cover PC games, I'm kind of tempted to add them, even if it doesn't look very indie, because you never know. You just never know, right? I feel like if it's purely just a console website, then they should probably be crossed off though, because they don't cover PC. But yeah, PC is kind of the main thing I look for. Indie's definitely a bonus, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a deal breaker if it doesn't seem indie. And Undertale got huge YouTube bumps, and that was also character-focused indie RPG, yeah. I mean, Undertale's, like, ridiculously incredible game, and it's a big inspiration to me, especially now where I'm inspired by a large the direction that game goes. And as some of you know, if you've been to recent streams, I'm going for a whole character sound effect dialogue thing that Undertale do, where you have distinct character little voices for the characters. As this is not a voice acted project because it's a low budget project, that's a really cool way to go about it, and it adds a certain charm to the game as well. I think as long as the sounds you add aren't obnoxious and, you know, they're nice to listen to, and they help the character be distinct, I think it's a win-win. And that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday, folks. Just so you know, I'm going to be putting a poll up so we can vote on Carol the Barrel's voice, because I've got a few different variations for her, and we're going to get set on the one we like the most for Carol. So that'll be super fun. Is it best to include all the info in the first email, or email back and forth a bit? Well, we're going to have, when the time comes, when it comes probably a bit closer to the Steam page launch, I'm probably going to have a stream focused on actually composing the email. It's probably still a bit early to do that yet, but definitely as we get closer, I'm going to look into writing the email on stream. And in the past, when I did it, I addressed the person, so if they've got a name, if their name's on the website, that's a big plus, because then it's a bit more personal then if you like say hi and then their name, and then you just like give them a little introduction on who you are and what your game is, and give them a link to your press kit as well is probably a good thing to do, which we do have for Raindrop Chronicles. I did one a few months ago, and it's on the website, so I'm going to just get that up now. I think it's probably a good thing to give them a link to that, because that's where you can have all your game info. We've got everything about Raindrop Chronicles on here. It's obviously going to have a bit of an update before we send it, because I want to have the new trailer and updated screenshots in, because these screenshots are old now. A few graphical changes have happened since then. And what I'm probably going to do in the corner or something is have in like sort of slightly faded letters, like that it's the 0.1 alpha build and the screenshots aren't the final, you know, look at the game. So yeah, probably send a link to that, because it's always good to have that, especially a link to it on your website, because you never know who comes across it. But you also, I kind of see it as you can't expect people to just come across it and write about your game either. Sometimes you have to just go out there and email them so they actually see it, because the chances of them actually just coming across your website are small, unless they happen to be browsing on Twitch right now and have gone in the science and technology category and have clicked on my stream and clicked on the website and clicked on that. So it's unlikely, isn't it? So you kind of just have to put yourself out. Me Too. What was the Me Too a response to? I've completely forgot. I think the Gymquisition covers indie games sometimes. Awesome Met. I'll add that to the list too. Anything you guys say, I'm going to add on my notepad file. And I'm going to look through the VOD after stream as well, because I might have missed some, because sometimes I do. So we got to Jazz Games. I couldn't find an email for that one, but I'll look through a bit more for any that I can't find an email for. Now this is Metroidvania, so I don't think this is our target audience, because this is all Metroidvania games. And although I do like to double check, because sometimes they do have sections for other genres, this is just clearly just exclusively Metroidvania. Being inspired by Undertale, yeah. It's so, to being inspired by Undertale, I mean, they managed to make a very minimal game with very simple graphics, powerful and popular. So how can I not be inspired by that, right? Because I'm no fancy artist at the end of the day. I'm quite minimal with my style. So I've kind of considerably updated the sprites from the defaults now, and I'm glad I have the skill to do that, because it would be hard to even have done that if I didn't. But my skill can only go so far. I'm not like a fancy character artist or anything, so it's nice to have that comfort zone and stick with that minimal style. Man, I love these niche subgenre sites. Yeah, like it's really interesting looking through them and things. A lot of these websites, there's a lot of different ones to back in 2015. I'm sure there's newer and popular ones. It's cool that rock paper shotgun still exist. What is so this seems more like a game portal website, Newsgrounds, doesn't it? I don't think Newsgrounds actually write curated articles. There might be a community section where people write news, but it doesn't seem like there's any actual article writers on here. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, if anyone knows otherwise, but it doesn't look like it to me. It looks more like, yeah. Now let's see this one. Oh, we did get a contact for Jay. To contact the editor staff directly with questions or comments. Not unsolicited spam or marketing. Okay, so we're not allowed. Please use our game submission form to send in any games you want us to look at for potential review. So they have a specific place. Oh, okay. We're going to have to remove this person off our list then, because they no longer do it. Usually these websites are very, very clear about, they're like, yeah, give us news about your game by clicking here or emailing us here. And they like it, I feel. I feel like they want to be emailed stuff if that's what they do. Because that's their job and it makes it a bit easier for them. But yeah, sometimes, you want to be careful as well that you're not emailing someone unwanted emails too. So if ever it looks like that someone's not doing it anymore, it's important to remove them from the list. So where are we now? Currently being redesigned for relaunch. Okay, so this website doesn't exist right now, but they'll probably be back in the future. Now, Newsgrounds is a portal for games and animations. I spent too much of my youth there. Yeah, I wonder why it was on the list if it's a non-article game site. The more that gets sent to them, the less they have to fight. Exactly. And I think you've got to have that mindset, because it's very easy to be like, oh no, I'm shy. What if they get annoyed at me? But you got to get those thoughts out of your head when doing something like that. Otherwise you'll be too self-conscious to get your game out there. And I'm trying my best not to, it's probably better to not be like that. Yeah, a lot of these sites are down and a lot of them are non-English as well. But all of these a lot of them are very indie websites. There's no big news outlets here, and I'm sure there's way more that aren't on this list. This is just a few. And I don't know how old this spreadsheet is. It could be from a really old Reddit post. Okay, so what's this one? Is this recent? This is definitely looks like a good one, because they've already got hit pixel art indie games. With so much noise in the gaming industry, we often forget about titles that inspired what is popular today. So they clearly have an appreciation for pixel art and older games, so they're probably our target audience, if they're still. Yeah, indie game reviews for PC. Well, that's reviews rather than features. But you know, a lot of websites don't just do reviews. You don't have to rely on your game already being out before they cover you. Some like to do features of a game before it comes out as well. So I don't know if this website do features. They definitely do reviews. But I feel like I want to add them anyway. I haven't seen if there's a recent article written though. 2018, yeah, it doesn't look like they're active anymore then. Sadly. Okay, so next one. This is recent. What do they cover? Definitely retro stuff, but is it very old console retro stuff? Because if so, then they do Windows and Steam things. Maybe they're worth adding. Bogleach sometimes covers games, but he mostly reviews the monster design, so it might not make sense to send something to him until there's a lot of enemies. All right, fair enough. If we ever get a fancy boss commissioned or get any fancy stuff like that, then yeah, that could be somebody. I'll put in brackets for enemy designs. Okay. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for that raid. I appreciate that. How are you doing? Give a shout out and tell us what you stream. Were you coding? Let me guess from your name. I'm assuming you might have been coding. Let's see if we're right. Yeah, you were doing science technology. Tell us what you was up to. Thanks so much for bringing your community over. I super appreciate that. How's it going? As for us, what are we doing here? We are doing this today, making a spreadsheet, the boring bits, so that we can have peeps to contact about our game when we get some news about it, which we have coming soon. We've got some exciting things on the way. Steam page coming soon launch, and first playable demo build. So we're starting this list sooner rather than later, because yes, we are making a game here in the stream, a 2D RPG. Science and Technology is my favourite game, Try says. Yeah, it's awesome. I feel like it's an underappreciated category on Twitch and it should be given way more attention. I'm working on learning a new language called Crystal, and we loaded board game data into a database we created. Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds interesting. I've not heard of Crystal myself. Interesting. And actually the stock market is my favourite game, but it's pretty pay to win. LOL. Try must be rich. Where were we on the list? So we haven't got loads so far. I can't seem to find an email. They have a contact form here, but that's more about applying to be a writer or blogger. Okay, next one. Oh, look, it's Triacus's favourite website now. But anyone who's coming in and you're curious about our game, we do have a website, so feel free to have a look. The current screenshots and trailer on the website are going to get a bit of an update in the next few weeks because we've overhauled stuff a little bit since then. But yes, all the stuff's on there. Okay, so this is Tricus's favourite website, and also a website I like as well because they've written an article that I sent them in the past, which was very, very awesome. So let's figure out where we can get the contact details. Usually it's at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah, please remember that we're a PC site, PC, nothing else. You wouldn't believe how many people haven't noticed that. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be very careful that I don't accidentally add non-PC websites to our list. So they have their normal email, video game website, and let's actually get the website in as well. I feel like I want to make another column, so insert one left, and we're going to call it because it's going to just be easier to see what they are. Alpha Beta Gamer, Indie Games Plus, Indie Haven. So anyone in chat, if anyone here like knows any really good news websites for games, PC ones, feel free to share them if there's any you like to go to that you find out about games, because we want loads of good ones, as many as possible. And same for YouTubers and influencers too, by the way, and bloggers. Includes all sorts. It's not limited to just websites. Use my hobby money on that instead of physical. So it's quite sensible actually. I think, you know, I don't blame you for doing that. Will the bot let me post a link to the IGN page? It should do, Timmy. We don't actually have a ban on links in this channel, which to be honest I probably should. I tend to just, if anyone shares a link and they're a troll, I tend to just time it out as soon as I see it. I basically made enough to pay for my games. That's about it. Definitely not rich at all. Well, it's paid for some things, and that's better than nothing. This looks so cool. I love a good RPG. We were talking favourite board games, and my mentor was saying he's more of a pen and paper RPG person. Oh really? That's fun. Yeah. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to D&D, though I have played in a campaign, so it's definitely inspiring. with D&D, like coming up with things like that. Dave are coming in, the D&D master right now, just as we're talking about it. I feel like a lot of influence want to be paid. Oh, thank you, Timmy. I'll put that one on the list as well. IGN are definitely a big one, but still worth a contact, I'd say, because you never know. You never know. But thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. And how's the stream going today? Hi Rex, how are you doing, Carlos? Handsome, it's good to see you. Are you having a good morning? And as for the stream, we're making a mega list of websites, influencers to contact when we finally get some news. And that'll be something I'll consistently update and use, so we can get word out, the game spread to people. And it's a very short list at the moment, but we're working on making it bigger. We spent more time talking rather than doing the list. There's a form there to submit a game for them to check out. It looks like the form just requires a trailer, not a build, but there's a space for that too. Awesome, thanks Timmy, I appreciate that. I've added the link to my notepads at the moment, but we could add IGN now if we want, but we'll get through the current list so we don't lose track first of where we are. But yeah, some websites want you to submit your stuff on a contact form rather than email, which if that's the case, I'll just put a URL to that on the spreadsheet. For all the memeing they get for their scores, IGN actually do really good reviews. Well, I prefer IGN to GameSpot, so yes, GameSpot tend to have hated on games I've liked in the past, which I don't like. I will play tabletop RPGs with Rose one day, maybe Dave. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Just a shame people focus on the number at the end rather than the thousands of words preceding it. And it's just way too expensive for an indie dev to pay every YouTube influencer thousands of dollars, yeah. If that ever happened, like if I contacted a influencer and they were like, give me thousands of dollars and I'll play a game, I'd be like, no. I try to stay as close to zero budget as possible because one, I don't have the money myself, and two, because I don't want to get myself into debt. I mean, it's risky, like you don't know how well your game's going to sell, so why would you want to spend more money than you would gain it when the game comes out? That's not good. I mean, all in all, I do this because I love it and because it's fun and because I have a genuine passion for it, but I don't want to find myself getting into debt from it. Just a shame, yeah. And want to hear a joke? Review scores, yeah. And how's it going, Rose? Not too bad, Diver. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you all coming in. I appreciate it because I kind of expected, since I changed my schedule, that things would be a little bit slower and take a bit of time for peeps to get used to the new schedule, but so many of you are not forgetting about me. How awesome. And nothing wrong with the score to give a general impression, but that's really all it is. I think numbers should be banned from life itself and society itself. Numbers only depress people and make them compete with each other. It would be it would be nice if that was abolished and there was another thing that existed instead in place of it. Maybe words in replace of numbers, maybe like a word that describes the game, but then that could get bad too because people could get offended. So I don't know. Numbers banned. Good luck coding, Rose. Yeah, good job I'm not really a coder myself. But numbers, not a fan. I think scores might. I was talking the other day how I wish that currency was banned, that there was no such thing as money. So, I'm a very anti-number person, if I don't even like money. Imagine a world with no currency though. What do you think that would be like? I think scores might be more useful if there was a way to cluster reviews based on which reviewers have similar taste to yours. Yeah, I think, you know, it would be nice if there was a few changes with how things were done in that regard, but you kind of just have to accept how it is. Abolish markets. Yeah, just no money, like where there's no value with money, where people don't feel that money needs to rule their lives and they have to like just live for money, because life is about more than just that. It should be anyway, in my opinion. Okay, so where were we? Did we add rock paper shotgun? We did, didn't we? I'm just very anti-capitalist, everybody. Confession is out. You found out. Screenshot daily. Let's look at this one. It would be interesting, but there would always be the haves and have-nots, yeah. I mean, it would concern me if it got abolished and then there was another system in place that was even more corrupt. So chances are life could never be perfect and we can never live in a utopia. There'll always be something wrong, and this website doesn't exist anymore. This one is a German website, I think. TIG Source, okay, TGI Source, the Independent Gaming Source, a community of independent game developers and players. 2020. This one, unfortunately, it looks like TGI isn't really active anymore. It used to be. So maybe we'll have to cross them off the list. Or a world where people cooperate for the sake of each other rather than self-interest, because that's Star Trek. Yes, that sounds much better, Dava. Everybody's out for themselves, every man for themselves in this is the human way in this day and age, and I don't agree with it. I mean, yeah, it's important to care about yourself and have self-love and want to have a good life, but not when it's at the expense of everybody else and others are suffering. Okay, so that one's gone. VG Naught, let's have a look at that one. No, I think this one isn't an English one either. Okay, so this is just a Twitter. Their website is actually their Twitter, it seems, because I've clicked on that and it's interesting. Indie stuff, it seems then. I'm a bit confused though, because this is just their Twitter. I expected an actual website, but Warp Door, what about this one? 12 hours ago? Okay, so the do Windows, I thought it was just browser games, but about. Seems like it's a kind of niche thing though. don't know if it's more glitch games. If everyone's basic needs were taken care of, even then people will always want more in their lives than just that. Even about barter society, there'll be people whose goods will be considered more valuable. Yeah, because humans are selfish. I think only the ship itself, you feel that the economy is pure in intent. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much if people do, you know, want more in their lives. That's fine. But I don't like it if, like, people are, like, living, struggling, or can't even get by just because people are doing that. I think if everybody was on the same level, or at least living okay, then it wouldn't be too bad. Rose being anti-currency has given me an excuse to use my Hassan amount. And I'm very, very controversial, aren't I? Try a guess. The only thing I want is to live somewhere that's not freezing. I hate winter so much, and it lasts like 8 months. It feels like not even being alive. Yeah. Whereabouts are you based, Timmy? Do you live somewhere cold then? I don't mind the cold so much as long as I'm warm inside my house. That's all I care about. I can't function very well in the heat, so I tend to prefer the cooler weather. But I definitely don't like being cold. I have to have my electric blanket in the heat. In Canada, yeah, it gets a bit cold in England as well, but we get warm temperatures sometimes too. It's not like super cold here. Capitalism is a great game mechanic. I just think it's a bad way of organising people's entire lives. Yeah, it is. And yep, we can't have that perfect utopia because humans are imperfect. We can still do better than this. Yeah. I mean, who knows what the future holds? I'd like to think that the world gradually becomes a better place, but is that even possible? -15 the other night. My goodness. Yeah, I like having the winter, and then because it really makes you appreciate the summer, and then when it's summer you really want it to be winter again. That's how I am. I'm always like I wish it was warm, and then when it is warm I'm like I wish it was cold. I forget what grass looks like. Yeah, we have tons of grass here. It's very green where I live. West Midland Socialist Uprising just started from this stream. Yeah. Patchy Cats, thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? We just have snow. So, who likes snow and who hates it? I personally love snow because I think it's pretty and it makes me feel cosy when I'm indoors. But I can understand people that dislike it because who have to drive. But I don't drive, so I hate it so much. Yeah, if you have to be out and in it and having to get around in it, then I could totally get the hassle. Well, time to seize for a hermit, it's like great though, you know, because it's just like, yeah, this is cozy. Well, time to seize the means of production and return them to the people. I like snow here, Worcestershire, so pretty when it snows. Yeah, and I don't like snow. That's why I now live in Nevada. Van lives in the desert. Do you like the desert, Van? In Plymouth, I didn't like it. I drive for a living and I love snow. Yeah, so that's a unique perspective, David, then, because most people who drive despise it, but I think it's pretty. I must admit, if I did drive in the snow, I'd be very, very scared. I'd worry I'd crash. Damn, I'd worry I'd crash even if it was normal. Okay, so we've gone through all these, and these are all vanished now, so we can cross that spreadsheet off. Do you think it's worth having all these individuals' emails as well and sending them all an email? I worry about getting overly spammy with rock, paper, shotgun. When I did it in the past, I literally just emailed all of them, I think, and it worked. One of them ended up covering, but I've got the main contact one in. Okay, and we have a few other sites. Let's just look down, have a little peek. I want to start getting some of the, there's some bigger names I can see here. Destructoids here, and I know Timmy mentioned that. PC gamers on this list as well. Silicon Era, they were one that covered my other game in 2015. So yeah, there's a few familiar ones here, and it says they're all active if that's a recent spreadsheet, so we'll look through that list. These are retro sites. We've got some RPG sites here on this spreadsheet, so they're going to be worth looking at because that's our target market. And then we have a humongous list here to look through as well. So yes, there's plenty of websites, and this is just websites. We haven't even got to YouTubers or anything like that yet. So we'll continue having a peek. Look, we've only got like 6. I don't want at least 100, so we gotta get cracking. Be back soon. I should go shovel. Oh, are you gonna shovel the snow, Dave? Have fun, enjoy. You know who does love the snow? Cats. My sister sent a video of the cats playing in the snow the other day. They were loving it. You love the fall, winter and spring. All my friends are freezing right now. They are buried in snow. I've heard that there's some stuff going on in Texas, right, with the snow and power. It sounds awful. Summer kind of sucks when it gets really hot, but I'm inside in my AC working, so it's not so bad. AC, yeah. We don't even have that in England because we don't need it. From what I learned, snow in Slammy rural area based on looks like Christmas cards. Snow in city cringe, just icy hazards, yeah. So basically, it's awesome if you live in the country, and it's terrible if you live in the city. Hate freezing my things off, even bundled up, and driving isn't the worst, yeah. So basically, yes, you gotta not drive and then you'll love snow. Just found my Blue Peter badge from like 2004. Oh my god, talk about nostalgic. I never really watched Blue Peter, but it was one of the shows that was always on when I was a kid. I love getting nostalgic. I spent days over Christmas, New Year watching a ton of nostalgic stuff and things from that I liked when I was a kid, and it's a really cool feeling. Your childhood crush? Yeah, I think I know who she is. I think I remember. Lol. Right now I'm looking outside at a sunny day. It's marvellous. What about ice cream? That's the one good thing about the summer, I have to say, because you can eat ice cream. That's one thing you can't eat in the winter. Okay. So let's look at some of these. I'm going to click on some that sound familiar to me. Den of Geek. They're very relevant and recent. They cover games, but what kind of games? Stardew Valley's here. That's a PC game. But they're talking about it hitting PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo. They don't care about it on PC. So maybe, I don't know, is this just a non-PC website? I've got to make sure, because I'm not going to add them to the list if they're not a PC one. If they are, then we can totally add them to the list. PC gaming. Right, so they look like they do cover PC games. She's married to Charlie Brooker now. Yeah, are you jealous? Who's one of my favourite creators? Oh, right, so you ship them then, Try. You're not jealous, you ship it. Now I can, yay. Can I have my ice cream all year round? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. When I went to California to be with Rex, when I went to see him, I was just in awe of how much ice cream was in the supermarkets there. They like just had a complete like row dedicated to ice creams. It's like, whoa, it was great. It's never not an ice cream day. Not at all jealous, just makes me happy to see people I think are cool happy. Yeah, I just, you know, it's nice, isn't it, when you have celebrities you admire. All the celebrities I love are dead, which sucks. I have this weird obsession with dead celebrities. I don't know what's wrong with me. Ice cream is an essential food group here. Oh my goodness. Yes, Rex is the king of ice cream. He eats it on a daily basis. He eats a tub a day. Can you believe it? Well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration. Okay, so I think we can add this one to the list. They cover PC games, and I noticed Stardew Valley there, and I don't know if they're very indie. It seems they're more AAA, in all honesty, but we can add we'll just add them anyway. Twitter. Tips Den of Geek, that's what we're after. They've even got the tips email on their Twitter. That means they are really wanting the articles. So, paste. Oh, use only. Oh no, why have I put the email in that one? I'm losing the plot. Den of Geek and that's slander. I haven't had ice cream in nearly a month. Nothing wrong with having ice cream now. I love those times when we were just sitting there eating ice cream. I'd rather you love ice cream than hate it, because that means I would be able to have it. Ice cream is found in mass quantities and flavours in the US. I could even find the Asian flavours like taro here now. Just saw a new flavour, caramel boba, tea ice cream. Oh my goodness. I have a horrible memory of when me and Rex ordered boba tea and they didn't even give us the boba. It was just the drink. I was so mad. But there are good flavours. I know I had a really nice one. I can't remember what one it was though. Okay, so we can cross that one off. Now, next one on the list, I'm actually gonna can we, how do we strike through this? Oh, we can't, it's a view only, we can't like edit it, damn it. Okay, Destructoid next. Now, Timmy mentioned this one. Yeah, this is very relevant. I'm assuming they do cover PC stuff. Yeah, it seems like it. Is there a contact section? Or a Twitter? Oh, there we go, tips. Got tips, got news, tips at destructoid.com. So, paste. I'm hungry. I've got pancake day today. I'm going to be having pancakes soon. I'm so excited. Do you guys in America, do you celebrate Pancake Day? Or is it just a British thing? Because it is Pancake Day here today. And we're going to be having homemade pancakes with Nutella on top. And all sorts. Raspberries and Nutella and yogurt is my favourite pancake flavour. I can't wait. Favourite meal ever. Yeah, we were scammed, I know. Back to the carrot demand. That we were really annoyed, weren't we, Rex? But like, how could... Because that's why we ordered it. We ordered it for the bobber. We were like, we really wanted that. That was our favourite bit. We don't care about the actual drink. But I buy my own bobber and make it at home. So, do you? You make it at home? Wow. That's one thing I want to start doing when we're together, Rex. I'm going to actually do that. Make some. Have tea of all sorts with bobber when I want. Recently saw bobber tea in a can. Everybody loves the bobber. I mean, I don't know anyone that wouldn't. I'd be shocked if someone hated it because it's just so good, but who knows? Has Father Pancake been? Yes, he's going to be delivering the pancakes to us soon. Well, technically they're homemade and they're being made right now in the kitchen, so no delivery. Do you have Kotaku? Oh yes, good one, Van, because my personal favourites are Rock Paper Shotgun and Kotaku. I'm totally not biased, but the reason why these are my favourites are because they've covered my past game that I made in 2015, even though unfortunately didn't end up getting finished because the team disbanded. It was super awesome to see something, you know, that you've been a part of be written about, and I respect him for giving me the time of day, I have to say. So I think it was the Australian Kotaku that covered it, weirdly though, because I'm not even Australian, but I think what happened was the Australian Kotaku found the article on Rock Paper Shotgun and got it from there. So it can have this snowball effect that if your game gets written about on one thing, or one YouTuber covers it, or a website, or whoever, that someone else can see it on there and then write about it. So let's see if we can get their contact email. Some make it extremely easy for you to find their emails. Like you could see with Destructoid and Den of Geek, they like literally had it right there in your face, their email. Some even have it in their Twitters. Not all do though. About. Here we go. We crave news, we want scoops, so please tip your editors. So tips at Kotaku.com, and there's their individual writers here, which I've been tempted to do a list of that too, but I also don't want to spam all of them because that might set a bad impression. So I think it's at least worthwhile to have their general email. We've got IGN as well. We'll add those to the list too. A sec. Don't know why the formatting's gone weird on that one. But yeah, chat. I mean, we still got a bit of time before the end of the stream. But if there's any particular websites you like to look at, or where you get your news from, and you think, you know, it's our target audience, feel free to share it in chat so we can add it to our list. It was our Postmates typed everything, so we couldn't go back and ask for it. I know, it was devastating. Under a group of websites like Live Hacker, Gizmodo and such, did you add PC Gaming and Geek and Sundry? Oh, thank you very much. Keep them rolling, chat. Keep giving these websites, the more the better, because they can slip your mind. Like Geek and Sundry is a really good one, and I didn't even think of that one. So PC Gaming as well. I was intending to add that one because I noticed it on the list, but we'll do that now so we don't forget. I don't know if this one's, if that's the wrong one. We'll go down and see. It should be alphabetical. PC Gamer, that's it. It's gamer, not gaming. So just a slight. Okay. So, about PC Gamer. I find it's usually there. Yeah, it tends to be in either the about or contact section. So, PC Gamer. We don't need that. We can have this video game website. Oh no, we'll cross that off now. We've added it. Contact the editors at editors@pcgamer.com. It seems that that's the email, editors then. It's usually tips, but that sounds like it's the relevant one. Unwinnable.com, thank you. I really like Raindrop BG. Clever, Rex, clever. Rex, do you look at gaming websites for news? Or I think you look at YouTube channels, don't you, for yours? And I'm definitely going to have a section on this list for you, like YouTubers in particular. As well. So if anyone's got any YouTubers they want to recommend that they think could be a one that's our game would have an appeal to, feel free to pop their name in chat as well, because it can be just as effective to approach YouTubers as well as the video game websites, and unless they do what Timmy said and they make you give them thousands of dollars for them to play your game. That's a big no. You know, giving them a key to your game if they're kind enough to play it, that's fabulous, but you kind of just gotta have your fingers crossed that someone would be awesome enough to play your game, or your game's just that awesome and blows their socks off so that they can't resist playing. That's another one as well. Yeah, YouTube is where I go for a review or gameplay. And while there are a lot of podcasts out there that you might look at too. Oh yes, podcasts is another. So I'm actually so we got mega list of video game websites, journalists, bloggers, influencers, YouTubers, podcasts. Well, maybe. We'll add podcasts to this just so it doesn't slip our mind that that's something to consider and add to the list as well. Because it's still a few weeks away, I think, until I'll be ready to submit the Steam page. I want to get more variety of screenshots available and enough content for a new trailer, which once we've got some of the scenes done, which that's priority at the moment. We're working on the main quest 1 scenes at the moment, but when there's plenty, I'm probably going to make a new trailer, and I will get a variety of screenshots. And when that's at a good point, I'll feel it's fine to submit the Steam page, and that will be our first news announcement to send out. The second news announcement will be the first playable build demo, which will be a couple of months after that, probably. But yes, there's a few like little graphical things that have been changed. Like one thing I did over the weekend was I changed the font to something that's a little bit more legible and readable, and actually goes better, I think, because it's the same, similar to the font that's on the website, so it fits the Raindrop Chronicles look a bit more. And it looks, I personally think it looks nicer, and it'll look nice. It goes well with the way the dialogue boxes look now, better as well. So you'll see that all on Thursday, folks, because I will be taking some short video clips of the opening scene with Carol the Barrel, and we'll be having a poll where we vote on the favourite speaking voice for Carol, and the one that gets the most votes will be the one we go with, because there's a few variations I've got, and that will be fun to do. Thank you, Pistol, for that follow. I appreciate it. So if anyone wants to get involved in having a say on what Carol's voice is going to be like, don't miss Thursday's stream, because that poll is going to be everything. And I'm excited. Okay, yeah, I've already said thank you for the follow. Well, sometimes I say it again because I forget if I've said it or not. Pardon me, awesome. Yeah, feel free to drop the links in chat, folks, to anything that you think could be really, really good. If you think, you know, the genre of Raindrop Chronicles or the game itself would have an appeal to a certain outlet or influencer, then totally drop them in. Because this is what I'm counting on now, folks, like getting the game spread via word of mouth in ways like this. I'm not relying on like Twitch to be the thing that spreads the game awareness out. That's too limiting to just count on Twitch, especially when its visibility is so poor. And Twitch has been great because you guys have discovered me from Twitch, and we've got like a really cool community of awesome people, but it's also very small. It's awesome though. Best people ever. Gotta give you guys compliments from time to time and let you know that you're awesome. Okay, so IGN is another. Now IGN is an absolute giant, right? But we do it. We still contact giants, because if you don't, you just never know. Even though it's unlikely, the chances are small, it's still worthwhile. One thing I remember with my last game, with the person I made it with in 2015, we contacted GameSpot, and some dude from GameSpot emailed us back saying, actually, I really they said they really liked the game and what it looked like, and although they didn't cover the game, they saw it and it got put in front of their eyes, so it can help. So, news, tips and content. Okay, so IGN have like a website form submission, so they don't actually have an email, and some websites do it like that. So I'm gonna just put the link to the contact form for ones like that. I think it's just IGN.com, isn't it, the website? Can't spell. Doesn't necessarily have to be the UK one. So let's get rid of that. I wonder how small the percentage of people is that know IGN stands for Imagine Games Network. I'll admit it, I didn't know. I was curious what it did stand for, but I didn't realise it was Imagine. I assumed the G was something games. Interesting. It's always good to learn. So cross-destructoid off. Now Van's put in a few in chat so we can get some of those in. I think Geek and Sundry is the next one. We've already got Kotaku and PC Gaming. So we'll get Geek and Sundry next, then we'll go through the other three mentioned, or the other four, and then we'll carry on looking through the list, because there's probably some really good ones here on this spreadsheet that are still relevant. Some of them probably don't exist now, but some might still be relevant. There's definitely, looking at these, I think we can get at least another 50 or more on our list. And these RPG sites might be worthwhile to watch out. I hope they're still active. Welcome round to the Discord. Woo, welcome. If anyone wants to join the Discord, feel free to. It's where all the news goes. I don't tend to post like news on Twitter or social media. Sometimes I do, but it's not often. I always put news on Discord though. It's the way to keep up with the latest news on the game and the stream. That's where I put that my new schedule changes. You see, if you weren't on the Discord, you wouldn't even know that I'd change my schedule. In-game name is what it stands for. Rex likes to imagine it's something else. Imagine if it was Idiot Games Network. That's what it stood for. That would be a shocker. It was the original name, but they've just been IGN for years. Yeah, it's less of a mouthful, isn't it? Not to be confused with my old Halo Clan Immortal Gamers Network. Oh, so that's a very edgy. Very edgy. Immortal Gamers. Who do you think you are? Felicia Day. Now, there's a cool human being. So there's a form here. I'm wondering if this is the form for the editor stuff and art and like news. For all other the form below, it looks like it could be. I'm gonna just do a quick browse and make sure. No, it really stands for in-game name. LOL, joke. I'd be like, oh my god, who's telling the truth? Rex or Try? Oh no. We were immortal. We get 2 kills and hide until the match timer ran out. Oh right. Well, if you want to know the truth about being an immortal and that it actually isn't all it's cracked up to be, you should play Lost Odyssey, everybody. That will open your eyes. Okay, so I'm going to probably just put the contact in our thing, because I don't think we've got an actual email. So Geek Sandra. I'll probably put all the contact ones together, the contact form ones, just so I can do all them at once then. Unwinnable is the next one. I'm doing all the chat ones first. About. They mention King's Quest, so they're clearly cool. And they hate fascists and the rich, so they're cool. I hate capitalism as much as me. So we got an email there. Okay, so contact form. I'm just going to double check the Twitter that there's no email on there. And pitch submissions, unwinnable. So by pitch, I'm curious what they mean by pitches. Now we should read the about section properly. When we launched, we primarily covered video games. The unwinnable state is one unique too many to early adventure games. Make the wrong decision and you can't finish your game. Ooh, locked out. Now that's hardcore. No wonder they love King's Quest. Planescape Torment might just be one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and you play as Immortal Man. I was playing that game, that exact game, just a few months ago on Steam. I didn't get very far. I played it for a couple of hours. I think it seemed really cool. I've heard only great things about that game. It's like super old school RPG, isn't it? The style of it. There's a lot of reading to do, that's for sure. There's a ton of reading. But it gives me good. It gives I like the feeling of the game. I want to play a game that's kind of similar to that, but different and a bit more modern. Disco Asylum, which is on Steam. It's on my wish list. It shows its age for sure, but it doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I like the skeleton character, the headless skeleton. He's cool. So I want to read this through properly at some point, so I'm going to add them. But they don't seem like your general traditional website in regards to this, so I think I need to do a bit of research into this one. So I'm going to copy that. Odd question, does anyone here remember the White Hats? It's very, very familiar to me. Was it a racing game? I'm not completely got the genre wrong. It sounds like familiar, like a game name I came across when I was a kid, but one that I didn't like read about or play. So I might have got that completely wrong, but it's definitely a familiar game name. Oh, it was a racing game. I was correct. I'm good. Okay, so what was the next one? Giant Bomb and Polygon. Good ones. So let's get them in. And chat, I'll say again, if there are any really cool news websites, feel free to share them in chat. As you can see, we're getting our list a bit bigger now. It's all very messy. I haven't even done it alphabetically, but just getting them all down for now. Can I sort sheet? Oh no, gosh, let's not do that. I think we should probably do it this way instead. Oh no, it's done it again. I hoped it would only do the ones I was highlighting. There, that's better. Now we got it alphabetical. And now is me saying I'd keep all the contact form ones together. Nope. I love Merc that feels like it could be something from the game's universe rather than just a shirt with some characters or a logo on. Yeah. Everybody's got different tastes. It's subjective, isn't it, what you'd wear? Not many people like wearing people's faces on tops or anything like that, which is understandable. Some people would rather have like something pretty or more scenic. Okay, where are we? So the Twitters here, we'll see if they have a tips email. They don't. This one definitely aren't showing that, revealing their email. It's a little bit more hidden than the other websites, which sometimes happens. Some really make it easy and there's like loads of attention to the email, but others are like, nope, we don't want more news, we've got loads anyway, which they probably have. So I want to find it though. I'm not giving up because this is probably a good one to contact. We'll check all their social medias in case there's something there. Help, we'll go and help. About. Doesn't seem like it's an email. Wow, I'm looking everywhere and they're not giving it, are they? Insert Coin in the UK makes some really good license gaming. Oh, you're not sponsored, are you? Yeah. It's fine to recommend things you like, you know, that's totally fine. Fine by me. I do that if I like something. And I'm not sponsored by nobody. Oh my goodness, Giant Bomb, my email. Why aren't you giving us your email? Okay, so another method I've got for finding emails is this. One sec. Going on the Twitter, typing in Giant Bomb and then email. Giantbomb.com chat. That's old. I'm not gonna have that email. It might not even exist anymore. Frequently asked questions. What's your email? They don't want articles, do they? Oops, have we got some sound that's accidentally playing in the background? I've got itchy eye. Itchy eyes. There is so much astroturfing going on nowadays though. Fake grassroots recommendations. Boo. Get rid of those scams. Though I guess I've been here long enough on and off to likely clear me of suspicion. Yeah, so you are a trusted community member. Try a kiss. My goodness, Giant Bomb. Another way we got to be a real detective now when they don't give us their emails. So Giant Bomb email in Google this time and see what comes up. "12 years ago." No. Bombcast at Giant Bomb. We're getting mixed messages here. This is 2015. I hope that I can be a trusted community member. So, David, you're one of the most trusted. There's certain folks here that you know, would make the list in a heartbeat, and you're one of them, silly. Pins on his trusted community badge with pride. Yeah, honestly, most of you here are trusted. If you're not, you're usually banned in no time, so. Oh, what's this one? Is this new? Is this recent? Because I saw an email. Can't see it here, but info at Giant Bomb. I mean, we could email the podcast, but that was 12 years ago, that one was. Do I even have a podcast anymore? Giant Bomb email. There was one on the Twitter. I might just take one of the Twitter ones. Because that was dated in 2020, so... And it is the official one. That's Giant Bomb. It's got the tick. It's got the verified tick, so... But it seems like they made a mistake and they've corrected themselves there, so that's the one. But I'm really uncertain because there's a few mixed messages there. So pay special. Trusted or banned, that sounds like the 2021 version of Cake or Death. There's no, it's all black and white here. There's no in between. You're either trusted or banned. I don't know why, but Bombcast sounds like some RPG mechanic where you can burn all remaining MP to deal massive burst damage. Maybe it is. Maybe that was inspired by it. Sorry. Was there any others that was mentioned? Polygon is one I mentioned as well. And then there was techrapture.net. And then we caught up with chat suggestions then. It's your last chance to submit a website for us to add to our list, guys, by the way, because we will be finishing up soon, but not yet. We're going to make sure we've added these first. Contact senders a tip. That looks straightforward enough. So I don't think they've got an email. This one here looks like the right one. They're obviously using the contact form. I mean, the other way is contact, but oh, it's the same thing. So I'm going to bombcast this, boss. You should steal the word and use it for yourself. I love it when they give you the email dead easily. It's lovely when you don't have to search forever. Stop seeing this ad. Go away, advert. I can't see you blocking my way. Can't see. I can't see. How dare. the thing we need to see is right where you're covering it up. It said add close by Google, but it's still there. Thanks a bunch. Let's just see if it's their emails on the Twitter. Nope. I think the extra credit stream has either play or RPGs, you mean, sometimes, but don't think they really take submissions for it. Trying to think of a site, don't really check games news much. Yeah, and if you think of any, you can always let me know at a future point. Because like I said, I'll be adding to this, you know, and updating it regularly. I'm only making a start now, really. I wanted to make a start today, just so it doesn't sneak up on us and be like, oh no, we haven't got anyone to email. So I'm glad we've started, but I definitely want way more on this list. I don't think 12, well, 15 now is enough. I wanted more, like 100, close to 100. So we'll build it over time. But there's quite a few to go for me to go through on this, and I am going to do some in my free time. From now on, I'm going to add in my spare time at some point. Contact us. I can just about see the contact us link that the ad is blocking. Is giant bomb one word? I want to get the format, you know, right. Yeah, no, it's 2 words. I don't want to email them and be like, this person put a gap in our brand name. Cancelled. Okay. So I've done the ones that chat have suggested. I believe I'll certainly have, and I haven't accidentally missed any, but I believe so. And I've got the YouTubers that a few of you recommended. They're on a notepad file. Haven't added them yet because I haven't started adding YouTubers at this point, but at least they're there for when the time comes. Alright guys, should we see who's online for us to raid? But should we put a trivia in chat while I do that? Trivia! Exclamation mark trivia. What is in the centre of Lightfall? Now that's a question, isn't it? What could possibly be in the centre of Lightfall? I am creating my game website now, but it's hard. Oh my goodness, Timmy, well, when you do it, when you finished it, don't be afraid to let us know so we can have a nosy. I'd love to say. But good luck, you can do it. It took me a month of time off stream to get mine done. Last year, it was this time last year, wasn't it? This time last year I had a few weeks off stream to really get it done. I didn't think it was going to take as long as it did. I thought I was only going to have a week off stream to do it. but it ended up being like 3 weeks, a month, because it was pretty tough, hard work, you know, to get can be quite time consuming. But it's well worth it to have it, because that's the place you send everyone to, isn't it? And where you've got everything. You're like centre of your base where all your content leads from. Yay! The graveyard and the legendary tree. Met got it. Well done. Okay, so let's give Met a point. So I think it's points. Met particular 1. There you go. You're on the leaderboard. Yay. Websites are easy to make, but do it for a living, LOL. Van's website pro. I don't find them particularly hard to do. I use WordPress, and I've made a few before. I did my dad's website in it. It's just, it can get a bit dull, and it can be quite time consuming is a problem more than anything. And when something's boring, it always seems harder. A website for your game, or a website for review for your game. Yeah, Tim is also a game dev, so definitely follow him if you're interested in having a peek. I followed Timmy myself the other day, so yeah, let us know how it all goes. Totally missed the trivia around a while. Knocks the letter G off the graveyard sign. Skeletons rise from the ground and start dancing. LOL. Triakis is a poet. Should write song lyrics for a living. Well, you are a writer, so yeah. Okay, so we'll go and raid somebody now. And well done, Matt, for doing the trivia. Maybe Van's still leader, I think, so I'll tend to do the trivia thing at the end of every stream. That's kind of the schedule we'll get into. We'll send everybody over to Mia today. Her starting soon screen is up at the moment. She might be just starting now. I've got to rush off though. We don't really have time to hang around because my pancakes are going to be ready. But make sure you say hi. She's an awesome friend that I have met in real life and had sushi with. So let's go over to Mia. Thanks to streamers. You're welcome, David. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Van, Triakis, Met, Timmy, Rex, and anyone else who has spoken recently in chat. I hope I've not missed anyone out. And lurkers, appreciate you all. And I will see you for next stream on Thursday, everybody. New schedule is Tuesday and Thursday. The days that begin with T. I think that's the easiest way to remember. The T days. We will be getting... I'd like to do a poll. I'd like to do a poll for us to set in stone Carol's little voice that is basically the letter sounds that will be made when her dialogue box pops up. Similar to how Undertale and Phoenix Wright do it. I was going to say Banjo-Kazooie, but I think hers is a little bit more subtle than Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie are like really like, you know, how they do it is pretty Phoenix Wright sort of do it as well, and that's a very subtle way of doing it. But I'd say we're sort of more Undertale-y, but maybe a little bit more. I'm trying to not be obnoxious with the sounds. I'm trying to make them be nice sounding sounds so that they don't get on people's nerves, even though you probably will be able to disable them in the menu anyway. But I want it to be more of an extra charm to the game that makes the characters distinct. So we'll be going back to that on Thursday. And fun time. So let's go and raid Mia. And take care. I'll see you all on Thursday. Thanks for hangouts and the chats, guys. It was a fun, chill stream today. Not a nice, easy one doing the list. And I'll slowly add more websites to this list, so that we're prepared for when the time comes. Okay, see you everyone. See you on Thursday. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope you have an awesome dinner because mine's going to be pancakes and it's going to be amazing. Take care, everyone.